Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I am Dave Springfield. I am the legislative trustee with Chapter 1163 out of Hill Air Force Base, Utah. Today, I am joined by Chief Master Sergeant Retired Jim Lakovic, and today I wanted to ask you, sir, about the Richard Starr Act. So this is an act that I did not know much about until very recently, and I saw that veterans getting out, getting a VA disability over 50%, they are not going to get any retirement pay docked. However, if you are getting a retirement pay and a VA disability pay from the VA that's less than 50%, they are taking some of your retirement pay. And then AFSA is working on fixing this. Could you explain more, sir?
Basically, two different categories of military retirement. You've got Chapter 61, which Chapter 61 is a chapter in the U.S. Code. Chapter 61 retirees are those that are medically retired prior to 20 years of service for medical reasons, obviously. Well, they get a retirement as well. It's sort of prorated. But in order to qualify for concurrent or for both VA disability pay and your military retirement, in order, we're going to stop that.
Yeah, you can just restart whenever you want.
Okay. In order to draw, generally, in order to draw both, you need to have served 20 years. When Richard Starr left the military service as a Chapter 61 retiree, medically retired, he put in for a certain kind of compensation through the VA, only to find out that his disability pay was being severely reduced because of, or his retirement pay was being reduced because of his disability pay. What the Richard Starr Act did, or will do if it's signed into law, and a number of people are trying to get it signed into law as part of the 2023 Defense Bill, NDAA. If it's signed into law, it would allow the Chapter 61 retirees all to get full retirement and VA disability pay with no reduction.
Okay, regardless of...
Now, if you are a longevity retiree, you've been in 20 years or more, and you have a disability, as you said, that is rated 50% or higher by the VA, you get to keep all of your retirement pay and all of your disability pay from the VA. If your rating through the VA is 40% or 30% or 20% or 10%, VA only pays in 10% increments. Then you have to pay for your own disability. And the Chapter 61 retirees, in every case, regardless of how long they've served, were being forced to do that. So, although, as an association, we are can continue to work so that those rated 40% or lower get all of their disability pay and all of their retirement pay, we've got to continue working on that for them. But by doing it with the Chapter 61 retirees across the board, that's a first step to get Congress back into thinking about it. So we're hoping that it'll make it easier for us to achieve full concurrence. But it's important to remember the Starr Act is not a law yet.
Right.
It's got to be in a piece of legislation, either passed as a separate piece or as part of a bigger one. And on the Senate side, there are people that are working in the Senate version of the defense bill to include it, so that when the House and Senate get together to come up with a final defense bill, hopefully it will survive that process. If it does, then all of our Chapter 61 retirees will get full concurrent, meaning at the same time, receipt of military disability pay. Although you got to keep in mind, some that are medically retired only served a year or two, 3 years, 4 years. So if it's prorated and lower in rank, you can imagine that the retirement is not that huge. So it's very easy for the retirement check to get wiped out by their VA disability. So that's basically what the Starr Act is.
That's fascinating. I think that's very important. Hopefully we can get that moved through. Chief, thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate appreciate you explaining that for us.
That's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Thank you, sir.